Yeah, from the plate. Yeah. From the nest to the lights, we're ready to fly. Eagles rise up, yeah, we touch the sky. Coach Rather and Coach Patterson show us the way. Eagle-led Bonnie's gonna seize the day. Hearts on fire, burning bright. Through a storm, we'll take the fight. Spread your wings and let them soar. Higher now than ever before. Through the wind, we'll ride the tide. Eagle Nation side by side.
What is up? What is going on? My name is Will Patterson. I have the honor and privilege of being the athletic director at St. Joseph Catholic School in Bryan, Texas. Welcome to the Eagle Advantage. I'm joined, as always, by the assistant athletic director of St. Joseph, Miss Madison Rather.
It is also my honor and privilege to be here as well, sir.
We are here. It is another week, another exciting episode of the Eagle Advantage. Today is the first ever athlete spotlight.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. We got a great guest coming in, so.
Yeah, we're interviewing none other than Leah Hurley, who is a multi-year starter for our varsity programs, plays a lot of different sports, also plays competitive soccer outside of school, and is going to college to play that soccer at Dallas Baptist. So really looking forward to sitting down with her and talking a little St. Joseph athletics and her future.
Yeah. I mean, congrats to her for making it to the next level. Not easy, so. But you're going to be able to hear about that story, and it's a good one to hear, so.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Before we throw it over to that, let us go through the rundown for the week.
All right, start off Monday. Junior high golf at Providence Classical School. Emily Biggers was the solo representative for the junior high there, and she shot a 54 to finish, tied for sixth in the tournament. Emily is such a baller, so congrats to Emily. She's doing great at golf, so that was her. And then junior high softball took on Bremond at the complex on Monday as well, and they took that one 10-1. Carly Elias, she pitched 4 innings, an absolute baller that she is. And then Kennedy McGee, she was our leader there at the plate. She had an inside the park home run. She had a triple and led the team with 4 RBIs against Bremond.
For the record, that is a legit inside the park home run. I did challenge Coach Rather, and I was like, was it actually an inside the park home run, or did they fumble, like have an error in there somewhere, and we're just counting it? I watched the video. It is indeed an inside the park home run. So
give credit where credit's due. Kennedy ripped one down there, and
she ripped it, and she
got
was
it.
moving.
Well earned.
Yeah, she's
way to go, Ken.
She's pretty quick. Tuesday we had varsity golf at Brazos Christian. They were at an Allen tournament with Brazos Christian and some other schools as well. It was supposed to be the BCS Cup. Other people had other plans. So boys turned in their best performance of the year as far as a team is concerned. Took 27 strokes off their overall total. Also taking 27 strokes off his overall total, Michael Seaton shoots a 96 for the first time, breaks 100. Congratulations to him. Simon Wiederholt takes 5th place overall. Haley Hudka takes 2nd place overall in the girls division, and Madeline Davis finishes 6th overall in the girls division. Strong performance for the boys and the girls as they both get ready for their district meet, which is coming up this week on Thursday.
Tuesday, varsity baseball took on Houston Second Baptist. Unfortunately, they fell in that district opener 4-2. Regardless of the loss, though, Derek had a great outing. He pitched 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, and then gave up 2 runs. And 2 of those earned runs came in the first. And then the Eagles gave up 2 unearned runs in the second. Kind of kept them silent there towards the end, and the Eagles were trying to claw their way back there. Picked up 2 runs and had runners on in the bottom of the 7th. Just couldn't get them across home, and so unfortunately they fell short in that one.
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, great start by Derek. Kind of a little antsy in the first inning, give up 2 earned runs, and then come out in the second inning and make quality pitches. Unfortunately, behind him didn't get the outs. So go down quickly, 4-0 at the end of the second, and then claw your way back and have a chance to win it at the end is what you ask for. So good job for the boys, right? It was a positive game. Just come out on the wrong side of it. Varsity softball goes to Second Baptist on last Tuesday and beats S-Bum 10-2. Lucida Vera Barrera goes 2 for 4 with an RBI. Caroline Johnson 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. Penny Ramirez 1 for 2 with an RBI. And Hattie Nash 1 for 2 with an RBI. On the old bump in the circle, as they call it in the softball world. In the circle, Penny Ramirez goes 5 innings, only gives up 3 hits, 14 strikeouts. My math is not real good, but if you go 5 innings and there's 3 outs per inning, that is a total of 15 outs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 14 of them coming by the strikeout. Man, it's great to be a defender behind Penny Ramirez. So great job, softball, getting that dub to stay perfect in district play. Madison, take away junior high at BV Chia, your girls.
My girls they're doing good still. So junior high softball went to play BV Chia at Travis Fields. We took the win there 17-3. Carly Elias led us at the plate. She went 2 for 2, had 5 RBIs, and had an inside the park grand slam. Her first, I think, maybe ever, according to her mother's Facebook. But I mean, regardless, inside the park, she was hustling around the bases and got in. Adeline Bullard went 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Sophia Hodges went 1 for 2 with an RBI. Cameron, Brianna, Livy, and Belinda also each had an RBI. And then last but not least, Cameron Elias pitched her first ever full game.
There you go.
4 innings, hour and a half. She only allowed 1 hit and struck out 4 in her first ever game.
Come on, Cameron.
And, I mean, she did it, man.
That's a 6th grader.
6th grader.
Going the distance.
She did it. She was a relief
Good
for her sister. Her sister needed a break. I said, hey, Carly, you're pitching a lot of games.
Yeah.
And Cam's been working hard. So I was like, all right, Cam, today's your day to pitch a full game. And she went out there and she did it and she held her own.
Love that.
And then we also got walked 18 times. So very disciplined at the plate for that game. So
yeah, I mean, it helps when you get free bases. We love free bases. Yeah, it's a softball too. I'm going to take this one. Let me
buckle up.
Buckle up. Junior high track went to Allen Academy. Both boys and girls take home gold in the middle school ram relay. This is a long list that we have in front of us. This is only the first places. So if we were to shout out like top 3, we'd probably
be here all day.
Yeah, we'd be here forever. Let's hit it. Brooklyn Gibbs, first place in the 200-meter dash. Charlie Laird, first place in the 200-meter dash. Fiona Hubbard, first place in the 400-meter. Jasper James, first place in the 400-meter, and sets a new school record for the junior high level with a time of 58.9 seconds. A new school record in the 400 for Jasper James. Sophia Aguilar, first place in the 800. Lexi Gibbs, first place in the 1600. Dynamic duo of Lexi Gibbs and Josie Doss, first and second place in the 2400. Dominic Walker, first place in the 110 hurdles. Dominic Walker, first place in the 300-meter hurdles. Sets a new school record with a time of 48.8 seconds. Sophia Robardo, first place in the shot put. Elise Hudka, first place in the shot put. She also got first place in the district. Charlie Laird, first place in the shot put. He also won the distance. I said district again.
Yeah,
I did it
discus.
last week. Yeah, I did it last week too. Discus. Hudka and Laird both take first place in the shot and the discus. I said district last week too. It's too late to fix it. Emily Biggers, first place in the high jump, height of 4'6". Dominic Walker, first place in the high jump. Dominic Walker, first place in the long jump. Dominic Walker, first place in the triple jump. Girls, 4x 200-meter dash takes first place. That is Clara Eubanks, Ren Sullivan, Blakely Burt, and Emily Biggers. Girls, 4x4 team takes first place. That is Fiona Hubbard, Blakely Burt, Sophia Aguilar, and Ren Sullivan. Boys, 4x1 team takes first place. That is Carlo Diaz, Charlie Laird, Connor Hovde, and Charlemagne Lopez. Daniel Roque breaks the school record in the 800 with a time of 2 minutes and 26 seconds. The really cool thing about that one, his brother was the record holder. So he broke his brother's. His brother Mario was here during junior high. He was able to break his brother's school record, which I know was huge. Even better looking for Mario. Mario was right there at the finish line to congratulate him.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it is sweet. That's a good moment for the Roque family. The stat of the day for the junior high track meet. We just talked about all those first places. every single athlete who went to the track meet scored at least 1 point. That is huge. That is massive. For those of you that don't know, in order to score a point, you got to be in the top 6. So every single athlete that went to the meet on Friday placed in some event and scored a point for their team. That's how you win both the boys and the girls side of it. Credit to Coach Pritchard, all the coaches that are working with our athletes from the high school down to the junior high for working with them. Great job, junior high track. Eagle baseball goes to Houston Second Baptist and falls 16-4 in a game that seemed way farther apart than it really was. I was at softball on Friday, got a report from Coach Waldesek, was able to talk to some parents before the softball game ended. Just one of those games. It's really hard to find a strike zone for us. They score, you kind of chip away a little bit. They score again, chip away, and it's close until the end, and then the wheels kind of fell off. Cole Budnick moves up into the leadoff spot. New place for him in the lineup. Goes 2 for 2. St. Joseph ends up out hitting Second Baptist 8-7, but free bases are the story in this one. Again, you can't give them away. Joseph Starnes gets a special shout out from Coach Faldesack that I felt that it was interesting to put on here. For those of you that don't know, Joseph did not play baseball in the last couple of years. Came out his senior year. Coach Faldesack has said that he's developed into a really solid outfielder. So, good job, Joseph. Those boys, it's a good baseball team. There's talent out there. They got to figure out how to win
For sure.
and play together.
Yeah, it'll come. And then that same day, varsity softball took on Galveston O'Connell at home. They won that one 11-1, and currently they're sitting 5-0 in district play. In that game, Mary Niver went 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Emma Davis went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Lucia Barabara went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. And then Penny pitched 5.1 innings, giving up 2 hits and striking out 14. And then Emma Davis got her first shot out there on the mound and threw 2 strikeouts. She also pitched a little bit in junior high, but her first varsity outing, not too bad for her. So congrats to softball as they're still making a run through district play.
Yeah, Emma looked good. I was at that game. She looked good on the mound, comfortable. Struggled a little bit with command. And at that point, right, the game was, I think it was still a 2-3 run game. And so you go, okay, you're struggling with command. You know, in softball, you basically come in and out as you wish to pitch. So
yeah,
bring Penny back in to kind of settle things down. And then they explode for like 6-7 runs in the 4th inning or something like that. And 6-7, yeah, I did it. They scored a bunch of runs in like the 4th inning, and then you go, okay, well, it's over now. So.
Yeah.
You went to Victoria this week on Friday with the junior high girls. Went 2-1. Tell us about the trip.
Yeah, it was fun. The girls were excited. The van ride was definitely a blast with the music. I mean, we had 2.5 hours together. Sure. Had a little Nintendo Switch here and Mario Kart in the back. You know, they're racing. We get there in the afternoon, and it was extremely hot, and the nerves were pretty high. The first team we faced was Sacred Heart out of Hallettsville, and, like, you have to give credit where credit's due. That's a softball program. I have never seen a faster pitcher at the junior high level than I did with that pitcher from Sacred Heart. So she definitely has a future for her in softball. We couldn't come out on top that game, and that was actually our first loss since Valentine's Day. Yeah. So it was a hard reality to face again for these kids. And then we kind of used that as fuel to say, like, hey, we didn't drive all this way down here to show people that, you know, we're not good. And then next day we played St. Ludmilla, which is actually kind of tied to Shiner St. Paul. It's just like their elementary school. Came out on top of that game 9-2. And then played Our Lady of Victory in the last game. And that was a game of, like, constant hits from both teams. Just a matter of which team was going to find the gap, and luckily that was us. So we came out on top 2-0. What was unique about that tournament is it really wasn't like a tournament. It was just kind of like show up and you're playing 3 games.
Yeah, like a round robin.
And so there wasn't really like winners. Like I couldn't tell you what place we got if we did. Like we went 2-1. I'd figure out of all the schools there, we're probably in the top.
Yeah, second.
But MVPs were given. So, like, these certificates to each coach to hand out to the players after the games. So, I gave the MVP award to Carly Elias for the first game because she pitched a great game against Sacred Heart. And then the second game against Shiner, I gave it to Charlotte Knight, but also the other coach gave me her certificate and said, give this to number 1.
Yeah.
And that was Charlotte. And I was like, all right.
That's cool.
It was cool. And then lastly, the last game I gave it to Adeline Bullard, our catcher. She's working hard behind the plate. You
Yeah,
know,
it's hot,
it's
too.
hot. I said, you know what?
Yeah.
You earned this. You deserved it. Maybe not for this game in particular, but for the time
For
overall.
the tournament.
Great outing for us.
Yeah.
Good experience for us to go down there and play.
Yeah, I mean, good trip. You know, it's like what we talked about. You last week when you talk about like, okay, do we have to go find competition? And I'm not saying we can't find it here, but like you said, you haven't lost since Valentine's Day, so it's been like almost a month and a half since we found a team that, you know, is giving us a game. You go, okay, hey, let's go down to Victoria and see Hallettsville, who, by all accounts, is going to be right there.
Yeah.
In the varsity level, right? So let's get these girls ready, right? If everything shakes out like it should, we'll see Hallettsville again in the state semifinals this year for softball. And guess what? They're not going anywhere, and we don't plan to either. So like, let's go start playing them. That means we have to drive 3 hours to get our girls used to that. Okay,
Yeah, that's what we got to do.
That's an investment that
Yeah.
we're going to come back to episode 5 of the Eagle Advantage and go, hey, you remember that time you talked about it like 3 or 4 years ago, and then you just won state softball? That's why.
Yep.
Okay, so it's worth a trip. Happy that y'all went. Happy you had a good
likewise. Thank you.
time. Saturday we had high school track and field in action at the Ram Relays. Girls win back-to-back meets. They take gold at the Ram Relays. Boys competed well with many improvements. Seamus Kilbride PRs in the 800 and 1600, got third in the 800 and second in the 16. Leah Hurley takes home gold in the 100, 400, and silver in the 200 and the discus. I didn't say district right there. Discus.
Good catch.
Yeah, Sarah Wagner wins pole vault again. Surprise, nobody.
Shout out Swag.
Yeah, shout out Swag. She's got one of the cooler nicknames ever, and she's really good pole vault. Bella Robardo takes bronze in the 200. Girls 4x1, 4x2, and 4x4. All three get second. Mary Niver goes second in the long, third in the triple, and Ruth Johnson takes first in the 300 hurdles, second in the 100 hurdles, and third in the shot put. Busy week, but happy we did it. Good week of athletics. A lot of good lessons learned. But hey, let's throw it over to the interview with Leah Hurley, and y'all enjoy our first ever athlete spotlight.
Let's do it.
We are blessed to be joined by Leah Hurley today. Leah, welcome to the Eagle Advantage.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Coach Rather, welcome back.
So happy to be here. New setup.
New setup. Yeah,
Again.
this is the other side of the studio. Not much else has changed other than we just flipped everything around because Leah's here and we needed her a chair. Leah, for those who do not know, who is Leah Hurley?
So I'm a senior here at St. Joseph's Catholic School. I've been here pretty much all the years of my life, I think, ever since the Eagles Nest. And I'm blessed to play soccer at Dallas Baptist University next year.
Signed, committed, ready to roll. Go
Oh,
Patriots.
yeah, I'm ready.
Go Patriots.
You're a 3-sport athlete. Which one is your favorite?
Well, I guess I have to say soccer because it's technically my best sport.
It's gonna pay some bills here in a
I
little
enjoy
while.
almost everything, so I'm just.
What's your favorite school sport? Because for those that don't know, you don't play soccer in the school.
Yeah, well, I used to, but
Used to.
yeah, I think basketball's my favorite. Basketball has to be my favorite.
I know, that's
It's
right.
Just,
It's so good.
it's so competitive, and I love it.
There you go. You run cross country, play basketball, run track, and play soccer outside of school on a super competitive club team. How do you manage all of that?
Yeah, so it's definitely pretty difficult, especially my freshman and sophomore year. That was when we were really starting to get into things. And I know I struggled because I was in AP classes, taking honors, things like that. It was a hard balance between school and sports. But I think over the years I've kind of gotten better at managing that. And it's managing my time. And I know I came to the conclusion last year that it was either I was going to decide to rest or I was fully going to focus in and like lock in on my work and whatever I was doing. And I wasn't going to let there be any in between. So I wasn't going to be like half asleep, but I'm also trying to study. Like it was either I'm taking the consequences or I'm like full bought in. And so that has definitely helped me.
Yeah, whenever I played sports in high school, I was also a multi-sport athlete. And I was involved with volleyball, not playing, but I played basketball and softball and stuff. So, like, I think it had a lot of benefits for me personally, not only as an athlete, but, like, as a human. And so how would you, think playing multiple sports has kind of helped you as an athlete?
It's definitely helped me with, especially my like communication skills. That has definitely really helped me. Especially I've in several different clubs now. Like that's just being more of a people person. I feel like that's kind of brought out in me because I was kind of shy my freshman year. And now I'm like, I'll talk to anyone. I'll have great conversation.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends inside and outside of school. And, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't coach you your freshman year, but I could tell your sophomore year, when I first met you, you were kind of like quiet with basketball. And then one game, she let it out. And I was like, that's Leah Hurley.
Oh, yes.
There she is.
She knows that is Leah Hurley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, during your career, obviously you've played a lot of sports. I think in today's day and age, we get into a specialized kind of like athletes want to go, no, I'm a basketball player or I just play soccer. What would you say to somebody who's wrestling with the decision whether to specialize or play multiple sports?
I mean, if they're completely bought into one sport, that's like really the only thing that they like to do, I feel like that's fine. But I think it's important not to put your focus and like all into one thing. It's kind of putting all your eggs into one basket. Like it's some people that works out. Like that's totally fine. That's what they want to do. But for others that are feeling like they have love for multiple different things, they should try out those different things. And yes, it's going to be stressful. It's going to be hard. It definitely is. I'm a great example of that. I even had to like quit volleyball my sophomore year. I didn't play it that year because I just didn't have enough time. I had to pick soccer over it. And, it turned out the best for me. Sure enough, the older you get, you'll have to pick something, but that doesn't mean you can't do other things.
When did you decide that you were going to play soccer? Like, was it always, hey, I'm going to go to college and play soccer? Was it more of like, hey, I want to go play something in college? Did you just kind of luck up into it?
So I knew I always wanted to play something. I think it was definitely in between soccer and basketball. I was just, I grew up kind of with the same group of girls, and we were on like a little like youth basketball league. I wouldn't say it's club because we were too young for that.
Sure.
But we did that, and then we would also play soccer in the kind of the same season, so that was really fun. But it's just I think over time I kind of,
Naturally
soccer, yeah.
Naturally went to soccer. There you go. Coach Rather, these next ones are going to hit a little close to home.
Yeah, a little bit.
I want to talk a little bit about state basketball here. Back-to-back state runners-up. You were an integral part of both of those teams. What made both teams so special?
Dang.
It's tough.
So both these teams, I think especially because my junior, senior year, we both went to state. Junior year, I think it was kind of like we never thought that we could get that far almost. It was, like we knew we had great athletes and everything like that. It's just none of us were like really, truly only basketball players. We were volleyball, soccer, track runners, just anything but basketball almost.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so, but I think over time everyone slowly started to buy in one at a time, and we started really like winning these big games that really mattered. And then I think at that point we just kind of, both years people started to realize what we could be capable of, and it took off from there.
Yeah, obviously, like, the losses back-to-back are hard, but, like, I was talking to her about it, like, basketball season is so long, and so to watch everybody kind of buy in over those months, November is kind of rough because you transition from your fall sport, and everyone's upset about what happened previously in their fall sport, and then the tournament season is just long.
Yeah, it's chaos.
These tournaments are long.
Yeah.
And then, eventually you get the taste of winning in district, and then we hit playoffs, and it's like a fresh start. But everyone's exhausted. But you have to give your all at this point. And so I think that's what's special about our team in particular is like Leah was kind of the charge of that. And she got all of her teammates to understand, what's at stake here and helped everyone kind of buy into that process saying like, I'm an upperclassman. Like we are not losing. We're going to go all the way and make the most of the opportunity and the experiences that we got to make together as a team. So
Yeah, and what you just said, like win it for your seniors, right? A lot of people don't understand that, from the outside, like I'm a sophomore. I've got 2 more basketball seasons left. Like, no. There's a group of people here that this is the last time they'll ever play competitive basketball. So if you're not ready to strap them up and go, then don't go.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right, and that's like that is probably the biggest message for underclassmen is like no, there's no end, there's no tomorrow for these people, right? This small group of people is gonna play this game, and if they lose, it's the last one they're ever gonna play. Now, you're fortunate enough to play the last game that you possibly could in a state championship. Obviously, you want different results, but to get to that pinnacle 2 years in a row. I mean, it's something
super cool.
Yeah,
It's
something
so
to be
cool.
proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like I said, I don't care. Like we can be upset, but it's like we did that. Like we went there.
yeah. I mean, not many people get to play at in games at that level. How do you feel like that has prepared you for what you're going to go see next year at a college level? Raucous environment. You would hope at a DBU soccer game.
Yeah. I know. Well, DBU this year went all the way to the Elite Eight in the NCAA tournament, and I know they did lose some pretty good seniors last year. I always since my freshman year I was always kind of in the like screw that mindset. Like it doesn't matter if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Like I didn't care. I wanted to win.
Sure.
And I mean, of course, there are things you learn along the way. And yes, it does matter what class you are, but at the same time, you can't let that like define kind of who you are, or who you want to be. You can coming in as a freshman. I know, like for basketball, I wanted to start, and I'm the same way headed into DBU. I'm like, I want to go there. I'm gonna go in with the mindset like I want to play.
Yeah.
I do. I don't care that I'm a freshman. I'm of course gonna be lifting up my teammates. Like I'm not gonna be upset if I don't start, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna like work my butt off like trying to
Sure.
get there. So.
You're not going in with the goal like, oh, I'll just sit a year rich or
No.
hang out. Like, no, I'm going to go take somebody's job.
Yeah.
Well, I
mean,
think that's what makes a good athlete. It's like I have the utmost confidence in myself that I'm going to go do it humbly, right? Like I'm gonna do it the right way, but also I'm gonna go take somebody's job. Yeah. No, it's
like still respecting others. It's important to have that boundary with your teammates and your coaches, but at the same time, I'm going there for a reason. So.
Yeah, I'm coming for you. Let's talk about a little injury and adversity that we're still dealing with at this point, right?
Man.
You're not doing horizontal jumps like you probably want to in track. You've flipped over to pole vault. We'll get that. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. But you broke your ankle playing soccer. Kind of take us through that moment. What happened? What was going through your head?
Yeah. So what had happened was I think I was probably being a little bit too aggressive, going up to the ball, just kind of my nature. And it happened to be probably their biggest, strongest player was their center back. I was the forward at the time. I was like really pressing it. I know they were trying to clear the ball, get rid of it, because I had made them flustered because I was like pinging around the field. I was like all in their face, and I was like almost getting the ball. And I was just giving all my energy into this. And the girl goes to clear the ball of the field, and so here I am. I'm trying to block it because I know if I block this ball, it's going to go behind her, and I'm going to have a one-on-one with the keeper. And we needed that. Like, that was the game. I don't remember if we were tied or down or what, but, I wanted the ball. And I reached out at kind of a weird angle, and it just happened as the ball came off her foot, it caught my toe and just snapped that ankle in two different places, actually. So that was not fun. But I don't know. I wasn't thinking it was a break. I thought it was like a high sprain,
It'll be all right in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Exactly, But I don't know. I kind of realized pretty quickly that I couldn't move it. And I went over to the trainer's tent, and he asked me, he's like, okay, so it seems okay. It's probably just a sprain. And then he asked me if it was numb. And I was like, if my foot was numb. And I was like, I can't feel like half of my shin.
Yeah.
All the way down, like I can't feel anything. And he was like, okay, you need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So
Let's go get a picture of that one.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Just,
when I heard about that, that was heartbreaking. I remember somebody came up and told me, and I ran out of the gym, and I found
Can't
you
find
alive
me.
there
I
with
heard
Eric
all
Crutches.
this. I
And
heard
was
about
like,
it.
oh God. And so for me as your coach, as a basketball coach, I was obviously concerned, but I was more concerned for you as a person, as an individual.
Yeah.
But what was kind of going through your mind when you realized like you're gonna miss like a pretty good chunk of the basketball season?
yeah, it definitely brought me to tears. It kind of does now. But I know I almost didn't come to school that day because I didn't. It wasn't just for me, but it was for both you and Coach Walker because we had just come into basketball season and I was so ready, and especially to be there for all of our younger girls, and the seniors now, but it was really hard for me. I think mainly because I was thinking about y'all, and just like y'all meant so much to me, and there was that thought of like letting my team down. And so it was hard. I didn't even want to come to school, and I remember you coming up to me and you were like, hey, anything you need, you can always step into my office, and that was really like, that meant a lot to me.
Yeah, I remember we had a conversation maybe a few days after that, and you were like, I don't know who I am without playing sports right
Yeah.
now. And I was like, well, this is a time to figure out who Leah is as a person. Who's Leah outside of sports? Because one day there's going to be the time where you have to understand, like, sports will end. And so I don't know how much you remember of that conversation, but, I mean, it was a really great talk of just trying to figure out, like, who you are and, like, why this happened and, what you could do being sidelined. And I can say as your coach, like, the way you interacted with the team, like, your impact was just as huge as if you would have been on the court. Like,
But there was a lot of uncertainty around, like, when you first broke it, right? It was like there was talk about surgery, which surgery then puts us probably at a track too,
Yeah.
like missing all the basketball and track, and then we got you got good news, no surgery if
if
it
doesn't
heals
shift
right,
or move.
right? Like I gotta
Yeah.
keep it super still, and then we're sitting in class like don't move, like,
Yeah.
we're good, and so I think the biggest part of just talking to you and watching you interact was like you didn't know what was the future, right? And I've always said I think the greatest crippling human emotion is unfulfilled expectations. And you had expectations that my senior year I'm going to play basketball, I'm going to run track, I'm going to do this, and then in an instant when you've played soccer your entire life, right? That gets taken away by no fault of your own. It just happens, right? And then like Coach Rather said, a really good point of like, okay, who are you outside of sports? Right? It can't be our full identity, right? It's part of what we do. It's part of being a student athlete, but you've got so much more to offer this world than just being an athlete, right? And that sounds bad, like just being an athlete, because you do amazing things on the field and mentorship of your teammates and things like that, but like you're going to go be successful as a human, probably way more than you've ever been successful as an athlete. And so to get that, it to me, it's like God telling you, hey, slow down and figure it out.
Yeah.
Like let's pump the brakes a little bit, okay? We're good, but also figure it out. Because you have to have an identity in other things other than sports.
Yeah. And so, obviously, being sidelined was hard. But what was, like, the hardest part about that in particular? Like, I guess in basketball, like, you're sitting next to me on the bench, and you and I are clapping and getting into the game. We had a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, because Leah's never on the bench. So, we had a great few
Hardly
months together. So, what was the hardest part about that?
It's probably seeing, like, especially the younger ones, and that goes with anybody. You see somebody younger than you, and you see them kind of making a mistake, or, like, almost making a mistake, and you want to help them, but it's almost like you feel like you can't. Mm-hmm. And I think I definitely felt that at first, especially, like, figuring out kind of who I wanted to be. I almost felt like I was helpless. Like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to help them with just words because
Sure.
I was always showing people with my actions. I was showing them with how I would play, like being an example of like how our team needs to play, how we need to act, things like that. But so I think that was the hardest thing for me, was trying to learn how to connect with people with being like outside. So I wasn't technically in those moments. I wasn't on the court. I wasn't in that little inner circle.
Yeah.
I'm kind of outside looking in, and I can only offer advice. So I had to figure out like what was best for each person and go from there.
Yeah.
You were a coach for a little while.
She was.
I had a little piece of paper out,
That's
writing little
it.
She
things
was
down.
writing notes all
getting
the
on
time.
court. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like she's talking to people on the bench, like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you gotta do this right now." I was like, "You go for it." Like, I trust your opinion all day.
Yeah. Do you feel like this injury has changed you as an athlete or a person?
I do. I think it's definitely kind of helped me figure out a little bit more what I wanted to do with my life. Because, you know, a lot of people are coming out of high school and they're just, they don't really know what they want to do.
Sure.
And I kind of felt I was like that a little bit. But I mean, I knew I was going to go to DBU, play soccer. I love the coaches there and everything. But it really kind of helped me realize that what I love, one of the things I really love to do is just be there for people and like really help them. And I think it's definitely surrounding sports. I realize that, of course, like can't play sports all my life, but that doesn't mean that I can't be around it. And so that's something I definitely want to do. Getting into like sports marketing and things like that, and just be someone that other people can like look up to. Because I know when I was a freshman, there were seniors that I looked up to, and I feel like I'm in that position today. And that it's definitely helped me just
Yeah, absolutely.
take a step back.
So you come back mid basketball season, physically, just by your your limitations, you're for lack of a better word, out of shape, right? You're not in basketball shape.
Mm-hmm.
We had you on the bike as much as possible, and you're like, I'm gonna ride for an hour. I'm like, okay, good luck, you know. But physically and mentally, where are you at as you come back into basketball season?
So obviously it was not where I wanted to be. Coming back, getting in shape really wasn't a problem for me. I knew I had to, work my butt off to get that back. But I was also on the bike, so it wasn't terrible. But physically, it was more of my ankle like hurting and throbbing and always kind of like, it's like a little gnat, like it's always there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was obviously not fun. But I think it was more mental than it was physical. Obviously it hurt a lot, but I have a high pain tolerance, so it was okay. I managed it.
But you also had to trust the ankle again.
Yes, that was actually really hard. That was a hard thing to do. Especially like going up for layups and things like that. There was one time in a game, I think the moment that I finally really started trusting it, I love to do Euro steps. That was a big thing. It's a big thing. Ever since my freshman year, I just hopping around people. I love to do that. It was in what we were playing, Spring Providence, maybe.
Yeah, it would have been
was,
senior night, like in like early February. Maybe it
I
was.
don't know. Yeah, but it was some game. It's just like natural instinct almost. I just
Maybe it was because I remember I looked at Coach Walker and I was like, Leah's back.
Yeah,
There was that moment where I was like, she can trust it again. Because after that, that whole month of January, it was very timid.
Yes.
But I was like, understandably so.
Sure.
And then I think after that Providence game, and then that led us into playoffs, it was like, it's all gas, no brakes. And so it was that moment.
It helped my teammates really, I think, see that side of me, especially the freshmen, because they maybe they saw it last year, maybe they didn't. But they really saw that that was the style that I like to play. It's
Sure.
kind of like fast and quick and a little risky.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So in terms of everything other than basketball, you break an ankle, come back, have a successful basketball season, surpass the 1,000-point career points, right? Huge. Get that done this year, which awesome, good for you. And then we go into track season, and it's no more long and triple, and now we're pole vaulting of all things. Talk us through that transition into pole vault.
So pole vault's not an easy sport to learn.
I could never do it.
One of the hardest things to
Jeez.
teach, do, and then execute on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's really hard for me. Thankfully, long jump has been kind of helpful with that because there are parts of it that kind of relate. High jump too. I started learning high jump actually, but it hurt my ankle too much.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do that. So naturally, pole vault was really the only thing left. I've had Sarah though that has like she's really helped me with that, and just me. I know she's younger than me, but even I know I can learn things from her, and so I'm gonna take everything that I can.
Sure.
Any opportunity that I have to practice, I'm kind of going for it. A lot of people, I think, usually when they're starting out, they're like kind of scared to kind of go and do it. I mean, you're catapulting yourself several feet into the air. Like obviously, yes, it's scary, but for me, I don't think I could say that I'm not scared, but I think for me, I would be more scared to not try it rather than to just kind of like not want to do it and just like, oh no, I'm good with my 4 events. Like, no, I want to do a 5th event and I want to see how far I can go,
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've already talked about you going to DBU and you've committed and different things like that. And one of my favorite days this year was the day you actually committed and you signed. That's always a special moment as a coach to see your athletes go do that. Even if it's for a sport I don't really coach in because I don't know anything about soccer. But when did that, we kind of talked about it when you've committed to like saying, I want to go with soccer, but like, do you remember like the moment that was like a goal for you? Like, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to go play college soccer. Like, when was that moment? And if you don't remember the specific moment, like, what has that journey been like for you to work towards that commitment?
Do you mean like the moment like they offered me, or like the moment that I was like picking soccer over?
The moment you sort of like pick soccer, and then you can also talk about the moment that they chose you because that's super exciting as well.
So for me, it was, I think probably 8th grade year, transitioning into high school. Multiple people have been telling me that like, oh, I really only need to be playing 1 to 2 sports, which I was, didn't really like because I like to play everything. And so I don't, for me, it's really hard because I was playing club soccer, but I don't think there was ever a moment that I started like really like loving soccer more than anything else. Like it happened to be something that I was like, you were
good at.
Pretty good at. Yeah. And everything else was, like on the side. But I never stopped loving those, and
Yeah, you're good at it.
Well, yeah, walk us through the recruitment process. I mean, we've got a couple kids that want to go play at the next level. We've got one on a visit today, actually. So walk us through kind of when people started approaching you, how you picked Dallas Baptist, and then what the commitment process was like.
Yeah. So we would go to different like kind of showcases or like tournaments, where I mean the games didn't really matter for our league, but it's just we would have college coaches like lining the sideline. Like, of course, yeah, there'd be some parents, but like when I talk about like lined, I mean like chair to chair, like the entire sideline. And that's just kind of the level we were playing at. Especially the better teams that we would play, we'd have a lot of coaches there, and it also helped. I had on my team at the time, I had a 6-foot-tall center back.
Yeah.
And so, of course, they were emailing everybody.
Sure.
I wasn't super involved in the recruitment process. That was something that I didn't, it wasn't super for me. Like, I just didn't, reaching out to different people. Like, I knew that, of course, a lot of people do that. They email coaches, different schools that they like. For me, it was kind of like, they're going to come. Obviously, they're watching the center back. But, they're going to talk to who they see and, like, who they like. And so whether I email them or not, they're going to see me.
Yeah. That's what we talked about it the other day. If you're good enough, they'll find you.
Exactly. And so I was just kind of in the moment. I'm like, if it's meant to be, then, like, I'll start talking with people. Like, I'll start building those different relationships. But if it's not, then it's not. And I'll just, it's all right.
Move on.
Yeah.
Go play basketball.
Yeah.
So DBU gets in contact with you, and what's the commitment process like?
So I think I was pretty biased with DBU to begin with. It was, for me, they were my top school because I had visited them earlier on. I went to one of their like little camps, and one of the biggest things for me actually was clicking with their coaches, especially their head coach. I noticed we had like the same energy, and the team especially too. It's just like everybody was just kind of like being themselves and doing their own thing. And like when I like really get into things, like in basketball for us it's like playing songs and things like that. Mm-hmm. For soccer it's almost like just kind of cheering and making these like different little like hoots and hollers, things like that. And I noticed like I was doing that, but so was the coach, and like we would just get excited for each other and for ourselves. And then the campus is just beautiful. Like I don't know if y'all have actually seen that before. It's pretty hilly, but like it's gorgeous.
You gotta get you a scooter or something.
An athlete, I'll walk.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe. I mean, all the athletes got the scooters. I'm kind of jealous.
NIL deal with the scooter.
I mean, you'll walk the first year, but then it's like, man, 30 minutes. I might want to scoot.
Well, and I think it's way more than like the ability to walk. You can walk, but you need to maximize your time, right? Yeah. So if I have 30 minutes before practice, I can be home in 30 if I walk, or I can get home in 2 if I scoot, and then I got 20 minutes to take a nap, right? You're maximizing your time with the scooter.
The campus actually isn't all that big, which that's what I liked. I didn't want to go to like some really big school where it's, takes 30 minutes to get across campus. I wanted to go to a smaller school, obviously, where at St. Joe's, I like that like homey feel, But then there's also part of, I know the coaches told me pretty quickly, they were like, yeah, so we play all of like the fall season, and then hopefully if we can we'll get into the NCAA tournament, and then once we hit the spring, like we let you be a college student, like we kind of let you live. And of course we do play some other different games. They played A&M not long ago, a couple weekends ago, I think.
Gig 'em.
And then they played Oklahoma State actually so it's like they're all like lighter scrimmage games. Sure. But they have a really, really competitive team, and that was kind of it for me. It was homey feel, like it's small, but it's competitive, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to go somewhere big where it was like soccer was only my life, because soccer has never only been my life. Sure. It's always been about several different other things, and that's, I wanted to be able to continue that and, join a intramural.
Yeah, I mean, that's what most of us do. Yeah. What advice would you give a younger athlete who wants to go play in college?
Ooh, I would definitely say don't just focus on like one thing. Like it's important to build relationships with people, especially with coaches, even if you think that you don't really want to go to your school. Like it's important to give them time and give them your interest, because with the transfer portal, like you never know if you're actually going to end up going somewhere else. Right. And so it's really important to, build these relationships inside and out of your school, and be involved in different things and kind of figure out your interest, whatever you want to do. It's important to like keep your options open and make your opportunities, like make opportunities for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, rightly or wrongly, right now in this day and age of college sports, you're really only committing for like 10 months. Yeah. Right. I mean, you're gonna you have the ability to transfer every 10 months, and there's people out there who have, right? And I'm excited for you because I think you found a home that you're gonna be able to thrive in, and we look forward to keeping track of you.
Yeah. So, leaving St. Joseph obviously in a few months, which is so crazy sad for me. So what do you want people to remember about you as an athlete here at St. Joseph?
Ooh, probably Probably the fact that you know, I was kind of all in whatever I picked. Obviously, I'm in several different clubs, classes, sports, things like that. I think it was, or I think it is just as important to look out for yourself, but also for other people. And just, you know, really be there for other people and show them that you care. Because, you know, we don't live this life alone.
Yeah.
Like, we're with other people, our brothers and sisters. It's important to show other people that you care. And so it's not just about records and stats and watching old film. It's important to, like, really show other people that, like, they can do it. Like, they can do what you've done, like what I've done. Like, it's possible. Even going to a small school like this, it's possible. You can do anything that you really want. You just got to put your focus, put your heart and your time into it, and just keep your mind open. Yeah.
Love it.
Who would you say has had the biggest impact on your athletic career?
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't have to be somebody here, like whatever, whoever it is. You go that person right there, and then my follow-up question will be: have you told them?
So, I had this coach when I was, maybe like 12. So we just started up club, and it's actually one of my, like, childhood best friends. It's her dad came in, and, you know, it's funny because he's not a soccer coach.
Sure.
He is actually extremely good at basketball, and he was our little, like, youth basketball team coach. We're really good family friends with them, but he plays golf.
Mm-hmm.
He's a golfer, and he's not a soccer player, but he started coming to our practices, and I think from him, I really understood, like, he taught me the game of soccer. He taught me how to play. And so at that point, I think I learned it wasn't just about skills. It's about understanding the game of soccer. And he was able to relate it to basketball for me, because at that time, I think I knew a little bit more about basketball than soccer.
Sure.
And I think he helped me realize that there's more to life than just one sport. And that's definitely, like, really helped me. And then especially with my parents, they've always been kind of pushing they ask me every once in a while, they're like, do you still like soccer? And I'm like, I do.
Yeah, that's
I do.
that's a good question to ask from a
Yeah.
parent, right? Because I think a lot of times we assume, like, well, she's going to college, of course she still likes it,
Yeah.
but inside people are dying, and they go, I hate this, but I don't want to let anybody down.
Well, and there have been times like that just, like, I feel like I'm almost, like, burnt out. I'm, like, done. That was especially, like, my sophomore year. I think I was, like, I hated feeling like I was having to, like, quit other things in order to pursue soccer. But at the same time, I'm glad that I stuck with it.
Sure, it's definitely paid off now.
Yeah.
If you go back and talk to your freshman self, freshman Leah Hurley, however old you are as a freshman, 15?
15.
I don't know. I was 16 when I was a freshman. I did second grade
Whoa.
twice.
Okay.
Yeah, I did second grade twice. It's not because I'm dumb. It was I'm an August birthday. I mean, this is going to be the oldest and the youngest. Come on, second grade twice. It was fun. If you could go talk to young Leah Hurley, what would you say?
You know, I would probably tell myself, like, stop worrying so much, because, you know, it's just, things will work out how God intends them to be.
Give it to him.
And it's just like, you really have to give it to him, because you're doing everything that you do. You have to realize that it's for him. And so, you know, you have plans, obviously, but things happen. Like, I hurt my back in middle school, and then it affected me half of my high school career, and then boom, broke my ankle. Like, you just can't predict things like that. Mm-hmm. And so I would tell myself not to worry. And then especially having coaches like you, that's really, really helped me. Don't cry, you're gonna make me cry.
Bro. You know me, I'm a softie.
Yeah, I would just tell myself not to worry, and then learn to rely on other people.
There you go. That's a
build
hard
those
one. Those are two probably the hardest things that you could give
Yeah.
advice for. It's like, hey, just don't worry about it. Like everybody worries. And then, hey, ask for help. Like nobody does.
Yeah.
Great advice. Hard to do.
Yeah.
Before we get you out of here, we do this with everybody that comes on. You're now the second person. It's called rapid fire. You can't think about it. You
Oh,
can't.
God.
You just the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
I guess.
Okay,
Yes,
she's ready.
yes, I'm ready. I'm fine.
Favorite post game meal?
Ooh, pickles.
Okay, let's
'Cause you
rewind.
cramp.
No, but like
Listen, you
A meal.
we
cramp.
just
A meal.
finished the game.
Oh.
We're
That's a snack.
that's a post game snack.
Yeah, but it's good.
A meal.
True.
I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna sit down in a drive-through somewhere. Where am I going?
We did travel for all of our games, so it's like
Pickles.
we don't eat till
We're
we get
sticking
back.
with pickles.
I guess I can give you something else.
It's rapid fire. It's the first thing.
I don't know.
Pickles.
Canes.
Stay with pickles. Toughest sport to play.
Oh, I guess football. I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess.
Favorite
Lifestyle.
moment of your athletic career at St. Joseph Catholic School.
Winning state my freshman year in track.
In track. Mm-hmm. We're gonna do it again this year though.
I really hope so.
Start it and end it with the state
Yep.
championship.
I mean, that's the only right way
that's,
to go out.
that's the
you know?
goal, right? One word that describes St. Joseph athletics.
Ooh, competitive. We don't give in easily.
We
you know?
don't.
Yeah, good
we're a small-
word.
You know, well, because it's like I like going places, and then or like other schools will come here, and then like they kind of have like they're looking. We only have one court. We don't even have a track. And we look a little bit poor. Like
Whoa.
sometimes, at least we did my freshman year.
Oh, that was before
we're
my
kinda-
time.
We're dripped out.
Yeah.
We're dripped out more.
Getting there.
But like we would go places and then people would be like, oh, that's just a really small school, and then we come in play 4A, 5A school and like give them a run for their money. Like
Yes.
Never sleep on the
Yeah.
Catholics.
No,
Ever.
and I think that's a good. I love the description, right? Like you want to compete. Like you said, we're not going to give in easy. You may beat us, but you're going to get everything we got
Exactly.
every single night. I love that. Leah, your story is one of resilience, hard work, and faith. We appreciate you being on the Eagle Advantage, and we cannot wait to see what you do next. Good luck next year. Thank you for being a St. Joseph Eagle.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're back into our regular studio. I hope that y'all enjoyed the interview with Leah. I thought it was a really good interview and a really good insight from just a great human being.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, going into it, we were talking, and she was a little bit nervous, but she just kind of seemed natural up there just talking about her experiences. And whenever we talked about, like, oh, who should we bring on first? I mean, I was like, it's got to be Leah.
Yeah, I mean, Leah comes to mind, and then we let the kids actually vote. We're like,
Yeah.
hey, who do y'all want to hear from? And there was actually a tie between Leah and our second athlete. I'm not gonna spoil it.
I'm sure they'll get a chance on here.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
come on. Yeah, they're gonna come on. And so we got them together, and we were like, hey, who wants to go first? Because there's something. And Leah can go. Right, that was the answer. And I was like, all right, cool. So Leah was like, yeah, I'll do it. But really wanted to bring her on and talk, and I'm happy that we had the opportunity to sit down with her, and really thankful that she was on here and was raw and emotional. Mm-hmm. I mean, to the point of like, hey, I'm about to cry a couple times. Right?
Yeah.
And that's how you know it's real and it matters to her. Mm-hmm. So thankful for Leah's time, and I hope y'all enjoyed that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Madison, let's take a look at what's coming up in this week. It's kind of a short week. But that means we're going to pack a lot of stuff into a couple days.
Yeah.
SAC camp and summer camp dates are available. April 1st is here. I would love to tell you that everything's going to be out. I'm waiting on the registration platform to do installment payments. So as soon as that happens, we will push. Everything on our end is built. We're waiting for the little box to be able to be checked that you can do installment payments. They're supposed to release that on the 31st, which is why April 1st was the deal. Wednesday, April 1st also marks the calendar that you can get a new sports physical for the next season. So after Wednesday of this week, please get your physical done. Do not wait.
Yep, just get it done, get them in.
Get it done. Submit it, right? We'll put it in the file. We'll check you off the box. We're good to go. Today we have it's Monday, so we have varsity boys golf in action at their final tune-up before district, which is coming up this week. Tomorrow we have the girls in action. Same tournament at the Providence Classical School. That's in Spring, Texas over there. And then we have baseball in action on Tuesday versus Kingwood Covenant, and varsity softball at Alpha Omega on Tuesday at 4 o'clock.
Wednesday's looking pretty quiet.
Oh, we love Wednesday.
A quiet Wednesday, right? And then Thursday, no school.
No school.
Holy Thursday. But the action still has to continue, right? So we got varsity track at Allen, and then we have varsity golf at the district meet, which they've been getting ready for. And then varsity baseball and softball are both playing Kingwood Covenant. The baseball team is playing at Kingwood, and then Kingwood is coming here to play at the complex at 5 o'clock. The baseball game will be at 2:30 in the afternoon. That's going to be a little hot out there.
It is going to be a little hot. They got a weird field situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They've got it
happens.
I mean, we were to their credit, we were supposed to play Friday at 6 or something like that.
Yeah, which
we can't.
No.
Right? Not this week. We're going to observe Good Friday, and there's no negotiation about it. And so the only other time that they could get other than Friday at 6 was this 2:30 spot. So it's like, all right, yeah.
You got to make it work.
Got to do what we got to do.
Exactly,
I mean, we can't play Friday. We're not going to.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Right. So it's one of those things. Yeah, that's a crazy Thursday. You know, we've got 4 varsity programs in action. And so you go, all right, everybody buckle up.
Yep, here we go.
It's going to be a wild one. Other than that, it's Easter weekend.
Yep.
So here's what I'll tell you. He's risen, and how blessed we are. Okay?
Very blessed.
We wouldn't be sitting here today without the sacrifice of Jesus, and celebrate Easter as with your family. And I know you're going down to Victoria to see a bunch of people. We're gonna do some eggs and stuff here with the kids, and maybe venture over to Grandma's house a little bit, and obviously go to Mass and all that. So yeah, I hope you have a great Easter weekend.
Likewise.
I hope everybody watching this has a great Easter weekend. Y'all stay blessed and go Eagles.
Yeah. From the play. Yeah. From the nest to the lights, we're ready to fly. Eagles rise up, yeah, we touch the sky. Coach Rather and Coach Patterson show us the way. Eagle-led Bonnie's gonna seize the day. Hearts on fire, burning bright. Through the storm, we'll take the fight. Spread your wings and let them soar. Higher now than ever before. Through the wind, we'll ride the tide. Eagle Nation side by side.